Oh, look at us.
Going live.
We're live.
There we go.
We need this today.
Yeah. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel today.
I can't play very much because I don't want Facebook to mute us, but
walking on sunshine.
I want some music.
Because it's beautiful outside.
And I think what's nice as we wait for people to join us, we can talk about, I think we're such solar powered beings. And when the opportunity for some sunshine, like all of a sudden we're like, yeah, we got this, bitch. Whereas when it's we're like, we're probably not going to make it. I don't know how people on the West Coast survive. Honestly.
I'm so proud of us Albertans because when you see there was something on the news the other day, people supporting these patios and they're frozen, like they've got their toques on and their scarves and but they're like, we got this. We're Canadians, and so today when the sun is shining, I'm like, fill those patios up, like, and we will all be. I'd like every meal there today on a patio.
That's ideal. Where's a breakfast patio? That's what we need right now.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is vitamin D.
Yeah.
I know we're all taking it, but get outside and get that natural vitamin D, and that's today. That's why that walking on sunshine fits.
Yeah, I thought so. It struck me before we went live. I was like, we need a little Katrina and the waves today. It's just the way that it is.
The walk-up song
for everything in my world, so I get it.
Is music not therapy? Oh my gosh, music is such therapy for me.
Well, Helen thinks we got good dance moves. Thanks, Helen.
Yes, she's a keeper. She's right.
Oh, Burge is here. Norway's in the house, Ange. You were pointing.
Norway.
Yep. Buffalo, New York.
Where is that on here?
Yeah. It's good. Well, welcome everybody to Virtual Coffee Club. I'm so excited because thanks to Donna, we now have renamed Tuesdays to Taco Tuesday, and we're going to have a guest to taco with us all the time. And there's not a better meal than tacos, don't you think, Anne?
Yeah, that's right. And I can't believe I'm the first Taco Tuesday guest.
What was fun last week is we had, this would be up your alley. So we had a guest on last Tuesday who decided to start their own company. So just one of your fellow entrepreneurs in the middle of this pandemic and in the middle of a pretty serious health condition for her. And she's like, you know what? I just need to find a piece of me. And she created this business called Mila's Mixes. And it's so amazing. And it made me think like, oh, I'm so excited. I get to talk to Ange next week because we get to continue to fire up our entrepreneurs in this world.
Yeah, there's always opportunity in every disaster. And of course, I always look at this COVID thing as a disaster because it's just a mess, but there's always opportunity in it. You got to be open to see it. And I love that lady that she's done that. And sometimes when you're triggered personally, so her health probably spiced her up a bit and went, life's too short. There's I have a really funny jelly bean story I'm going to share about that. My father, one time, he retired young. At the last minute, he chose to retire young. Thank God he did, because he only lived for a couple more years, and he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I think it was 4 or 6 months later he died. But he told a story that I never knew I was poor being raised because he gave us such quality of life, but we were really poor. I figured it out when we were in high school and stuff, but he calls it the jelly bean story. So he put how many summers he had left. When he retired and he had quality of life, he put that many jelly beans in a jar, and it was beside his bed. And he always looked at how many jelly beans were in life, and he said to himself, I don't have very many, so I'm going to make the best of my life, and I'm best of my situation. And then when he got diagnosed, it wasn't too long later, he didn't have very many jelly beans, and then he was cut short anyways. So that jelly bean story I've always paid forward of how many summers do you have left? of quality of life. And I think he had 20 in there, but it's a real eye opener when you look at it. So that lady that's like, I'm getting after it. I don't have very many jelly beans left, that's, go for it. That's pretty neat.
I'm afraid, like, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would eat all of the jelly beans. And then I'd be like, shit, is that a sign, or do I just have the sugar addiction? But
my dad would say, you just go and fill it back up. And if you enjoyed them, that's all that matters. Because the point is life's too short. Life is just go for it. Stay in the happy place. So good job to that entrepreneur that's going to do that.
I love it. Well, welcome back, Angela Greneveld, to our virtual coffee club. Last time you were here, it was a wacky, wild WTF Wednesday. So we'll switch gears a little bit. You don't have
Mike coming on today?
No, I see that he's lurking in the background.
Oh, there he is.
He's always nearby. Good morning, Cheryl. So yeah, but you're safe today. It's just you.
I was ready just in case. I was ready for him.
You never know.
He might pop on.
Like, surprise. Be like the Ellen where they jump out to scare you. I'll just have this Mike LaBelle thing come out to scare you. But I thought today we could talk about a few different things when it comes to maybe our current climate. Maybe, I was really inspired last week by Pam's story, because I think you and I always know people have great ideas. And I think that a good chunk of people, and it's not for everybody, but a good chunk of people have that little entrepreneur inside of them that's just waiting for that cool opportunity to just spring out and take their moment. And like you said, there's a lot of interesting opportunity that comes out of disaster. We know that there's creativity that comes out of the energy from things where, peaks and valleys. And so there's a really cool opportunity right now for people. And I think their little entrepreneurs are ready to jump out. So I always am inspired by the way that you coach that out of people. It's really cool.
Well, yeah, that little entrepreneur inside of you is passion. So I believe we're all given gifts. I think when we're individually made and brought on earth, that we're all given gifts. And as we evolve and grow, we learn and we try new things, and we grow new gifts and new talents and things in us. And so when those come out, utilize them. Go for it, and move them forward. Sometimes people move them into a business, and sometimes they're so passionate about their business that they don't make good business decisions. And that's when a coach or a consultant comes in, because we go, great idea, but you're not going to make any money. So,
I love your practice, but yeah,
I'm a pretty straight up coach. But it's okay. Keep it as a hobby. So for the people that are listening right now that have that little burning into entrepreneur inside of them, is that passion is coming inside of them, and they have an idea that they want to move forward. Move it as a hobby right now. Play with it, volunteer in it, have some fun with it, and then you start to put the business skills around it, and then you want to make the investment, the leap from your job and stuff. And I've seen too many times, and I've done it myself, is that where I just dive into a business. I don't do my due diligence. I don't, because I'm just pretty sure it's going to work, and fail. So I'm in disaster, or I'm finding a lot of people with COVID right now have more time on their hands. So they're getting creative, or they're finding new hobbies or new things. So or diversifying their business, or diversifying things at home. And that's the whole key. That's where there's opportunities in disaster all the time. I got to tell a fun one on Fort McMurray when I was doing recovery up there. The oil change. Everybody's cars had burnt down, or there was smoke damage and everything. So he was an oil change. Well, who's getting an oil change after a fire swept through your community? So he turned it into, it's a long story, but he turned it into a drive-through detailed clean your car. But the customer service that he put to it was like, you'd get out of your car, you'd get in, and you could bring your animals. Like, you had a little area for your dogs and stuff, because everybody was kicked out of their houses, right? So everyone in Fort McMurray was traveling with their cats and their dogs, because they were there in hotels or temporary. And the customer service that he did, and then he did no billing. So you basically got it for free, because he billed it right to the insurance companies. Well, when the economy got back up and going, he had incredible sales, because he had built a whole new customer base, and he then added that to his business. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to watch entrepreneurs.
I love seeing that happen. Now you're sort of, I don't know, would I say that you're famous for it, but you have this like happy little recipe that you do. Would you share your happy recipe with us today?
Oh, my happy recipe, Lori Callig. I hope she's listening. That's so that she.
I was worried you're really going to be like, we need 2 ounces of tequila. And
Well, for those that know me that are listening, that is part of my happy recipe. I do like a cocktail now and then, but I like to laugh more than anything and smile. But so just being vulnerable and sharing my little story, everybody has ups and downs in life. And for some reason, I felt God picked on me a little bit more. And mine were a little rougher, but they weren't. There's a lot worse out there. But when you're in that mindset, I was given a gift. It came to me one day from fear to faith and on to fly. And I didn't know what to do with that. And that's years and years ago. So as I've moved through learning my skills as a personal coach and as a business coach, adding them, this fear to faith, and it's a book that I'm writing, but it's also my recipe of when I coach people and teach with them. But I use it all the time. And so when I got COVID and I was having some mental health issues after it, because for me, I have to keep high energy and keep moving and all those types of things. So when those shut down on me, it triggers my depression. It triggers my low. And so I had to dig in deep of what do I do to get through this? And that's this fear that's in my head is sometimes your mind will take over and your ego will talk to you and it'll say, voices of like, here we go, low, I'm not going to get out of bed or not. And mine was starting. And so I have to go to my faith system, which is love. It's always in my heart. It is, you look around things that remind you of love and make you happy. So I've created a list of those, and that's my happy recipe. And the biggest one is music. So as soon as I start to feel a little low with anything, I find myself with music. And sometimes it's retail therapy, sometimes just even online, sometimes it's being around animals that I just need to go pet that horse or get on a horse or with the dogs, or certain people. There's certain friends that I have that list that I need that energy that I reach out for. And so I was sharing this, so I'll share this faith system, whatever your faith system is that brings you joy, or maybe it's your spirituality that you have to reach to, but find your happy recipe. And everybody has a different happy recipe. So today I've got a tough business day in front of me, and I didn't sleep well last night, and I'm a little nervous about stuff. And so for me, it's color. And I was like, oh, I got to get ready, and I got to, I'm not wearing that black suit, but this is my little customized thing. I need color. I need to listen to really good music on the way in and get motivated and go. And so when I pay this forward to people of find your happy recipe, it's kind of fun. They play with it. I've got food. I've got Pinterest. I've got a lot of neat cocktails I try. So yeah, it's a little bit about it.
I love that. And that's, I mean, relatively easy for people to do. You can take a minute and be like, okay, what are the things? I call them your joy factors, right? Yeah. So what are those things? Put them on your list and stick it up somewhere. Sometimes even I would think, because I think we're all relatively have a visual piece to us, just looking at that list, wherever you have it stuck is going to remind you of those things too. And then if you're really low, you're like, okay, I'm dipping into the list. But I bet even a picture of that list would be ideal.
Well, yeah, in the olden days, we used to do, I used to go to these vision boards where you would get all your magazines and cut them all out. And I know I'm old, I'm almost 50. So in the olden days, do they even make magazines anymore? But you'd cut them all out and you would create this vision board of this life you want and manifest and look into it. And now everything's online, right? So you can actually do vision board apps and stuff. And I actually work with business owners to create what they want their business to look like do business vision boards. But I use Pinterest. So I think I'm bipolar. I think I have lots of different personalities because one day I'm a cowgirl, one day I'm a business owner, one day I'm a super mom. I'm going to cook everything organic from home. And so, but I just create and play. It's just my play spot. And that's what I want people, that's what I want to leave today is find your happy recipe. Find your personal things, and maybe you don't know them, and maybe it's a certain spot in your house that you like to sit in, but we got to figure it out to keep ourselves up.
Yeah, that's good. And I think we should bring back the old school vision boarding. I still do one every year. Glue magazines. Yeah. Fauna Views and Kara Marshall host a vision board thing every single year. And that's my favorite piece. We had to do it virtually this year, but that's the best. You got to do that. There's something about crafting. Get it.
Maybe a little tip, because here at CGen, of course, we hire someone that comes in and does a strategy session. So a lot of businesses will do strategy sessions, and they're great. And some you used to travel and go away, so you're in that creative mind space, and so you could really have a different lens and think out of the box. And but with COVID now, it's just the white papers or the on the wall, and you start to ask your, a facilitator moves you through. Why can't girlfriends do this? Why can't family members do this, right? Like, why can't you just get on a Zoom call and kind of push each other to, what's your happy recipe? What brings you joy? And then when you start to share them with each other, you'll learn and you'll grab different things and add them to yours. So, but yeah, even the magazine thing, it would be fun too. You can social distance. We're getting there now, or we can get outside and kind of do this stuff. But
yeah, you could hit a patio to help a business and do some crafting.
Yes. The hardest part for me is exercise.
Yeah.
It's so important, like getting outside for that vitamin D today, but that there is a endorphin release that happens when your body is moving that I've been told over and over. And I will choose sitting on the patio all day over than going for exercise. But I put in my happy recipe that I have to exercise. I have to get moving. And if I'm getting low and I'm watching movies or reading books, I give myself permission 48 hours. So after 48 hours, and I also have a support group around me that call and check. So if I'm feeling low, or I even had the conversation with my kids, and that, we got to keep each other up and going, because I haven't moved for 48 hours. Come on, Mom, let's get going. Or friends are like, hey, Ange, how you doing? I haven't checked in, and they know. So be vulnerable and share too.
Yeah. Well, and I like to, you're a part of Team Vijay, so we're going to be doing a 5K at the beginning of July. Whether we're walking or running is to be determined. However, we have a really great group in that, and we've started sharing in our group. People, if they're headed out, they shoot a quick video that they're out. We had walkers and bike riders and all this kind of fun stuff. But on my happy recipe, I started to combine going for coffee with activity. So I'll meet a girlfriend or a friend at Colossi's, and we grab a coffee and we go for a walk, and we'll go through George Lane Park and down the berm and all around and come back. So I get a coffee date, a friend chat, and some activity at the same time.
That's awesome. And that's your happy thing. So you might have to push yourself to say, I got to go do this. I got to phone one of these friends. I got to get out of the house. I would never be able to multitask like that. Drinking coffee and walking, I would be in so much trouble. Now I can have a cocktail.
Well, last week we tried, there's like these new Italian sodas, and you can get them sugar-free. So then you still feel like you're healthy. And they had a unicorn flavor. So I was like, I need to have the unicorn drink for my walk today. And it was so sweet. I'm not going to lie. Note to anyone, get a half sweet unicorn. A full sweet unicorn is too much. But anyway, it was delish.
Made you happy.
And it had a straw in a cup. Like, you could do that.
I could multitask. Yeah. I was multitasking this week, and I needed some happy space, and I jumped on a horse and was riding, and had a few cocktails riding, and I don't know if that's going to be my new happy thing, to mix alcohol with riding horses, because
probably not a rodeo at the end of well, since we haven't been able to go to a rodeo for over a year, you could create the next one.
I created my own. I didn't get any of the cows and calves separated or moved or anything, but I had fun.
Helen, so what does a unicorn taste like? She asks. Well, this particular one was, I think it was like blueberry and raspberry or some. It was 2 fruit flavors that they mixed together. I don't know. It was a surprise. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. That's all I know. Did you
Where
freeze?
was it?
Oh,
where was it?
So serious.
What's in it?
Colossus downtown High River is where.
There we go. There's a plug for Colossus.
Yeah. You can go help them out. We've got all these great businesses and patios and ideas. Did you see what they were doing in Pincher Creek? I really like that.
No.
So the municipality in Pincher Creek created patio packages for their businesses that didn't have patios. So you could go to the town and you'd get picnic tables and all of these things, and they provided them for their businesses so that they could create patios.
Wow, that's awesome.
That was amazing. I was like, way to go, town of Pincher Creek. Lead by example right there. It was really, really cool. And I hope to see more of those kind of ideas pop up.
Yeah. Well, you'll get more impact out of that than a municipality putting a shop local campaign on. That's, those are some things that I don't really believe in. And so that good for them. They're actually putting action items, tangible items that business owners can use, and
building relationship with their citizens. What? Yeah. How is that a foreign concept? But it sure is.
It sure is.
We won't go down that rabbit hole of Taco Tuesday today, of us going into how governments could better engage with citizens. But maybe another day.
Oh, I'd like to be on that call.
Yeah, maybe another day. But I want to be conscious of people's time having coffee with us. So we're hitting our 20-minute mark. It goes by so fast. But we'll have you back on future Taco Tuesdays, because I know we can share some tips and ideas for people who have businesses, who want to start a startup. Any of those things will continue to tip. And people, if you would like some information, some ideas, some help, go check out Emerg-Agency. That's where you will find this lovely lady, and she's ready to help you. So
yeah, good. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on today. I want to leave one little tidbit, because the government has just brought out some opportunities for entrepreneurs. Please be careful of your debt ratio. So if it's free money and it's grants, go for it. If it is loans, please look at your debt ratio, because what happens is a false economy. When everything gets open, it's wow, and there's sales, and we call it the hero phase, and then it starts to drop down and you get irregular. So I've seen it too many times, especially in High River. We created all that debt for businesses to keep going, and then they had to deal with that. I would call that disaster number 2. So be careful. Good luck out there. Thanks for having me on Taco Tuesday. I hope to see some taco recipes in the chat. I'm going to kill you for this one.
Everything, just all tacos all the time. It's perfect. I love it. Okay. And now everybody knows what to have for dinner tonight. So you're welcome, because we've just erased that. Oh, shoot. What am I going to make for dinner? Because for some reason you have to make dinner every day and do dishes every day. I don't know.
No, you don't. Go to the patio. That's what I do. Happy. Stay happy.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Yes, another edition of WTF Wednesday for tomorrow. So have a good rest of your Tuesday, friends. Bye.
Bye.